Hi everybody, if you were following the last lesson along on your own PC, you may have noticed some differences between the designer tool on your computer and the designer tool that we presented in the video. The reason for this is that video was shot now more than 2 years ago, and the Survey Solutions platform is constantly changing, improving and updating. So what we'll have today is a short addendum to that video where I'll walk you through some of the changes.
Okay, so we have a few slight differences on the main designer page. Firstly, we have down here our options for new question, subsection, roster, etc. These ones are actually split out now. In the older version of Designer, they came from the small drop-down menu. And there's also this new option here, search for question. So the designer has implemented a sort of bank of commonly used questions, which you can use and import straight into your survey. So you can click on this, and you can see there's a whole type of standard social research questions which you can use straight into your survey by importing them. The other main differences is at the top here we now have a new button for download PDF, so you can click here and you can download a PDF version of your survey in your original language, usually English, or any other languages that you've set your survey up in. So you have a nice paper record of the survey programming for checking. And the big difference we'll run through now is we have two new advanced features over here. The first one is called categories, and the second one is called scenarios. So let's start with categories. What the categories does is it allows us to save some answer options which we're going to be reusing time and time again in our survey. The example I'll walk you through today is the answer options of yes, no, and don't know. You can imagine if you have this maybe dozens of times in your questionnaire, it will be a little bit monotonous for you to be typing out yes, no, don't know many times. So you can save some time here. It's also good for quality control if you're using long answer lists. So for example, maybe our crop lists or something in the agricultural surveys, to make sure that your answer codes are matching exactly between questions as you use them throughout your survey. So to set up categories, what we're going to do first of all is get the template from Excel. So press on this and it will download for us. We can open this file here and you see we have three columns. We have ID, text, and the parent ID. So the ID relates to the numeric value for the option you want to add. So I'll start with an ID of 1 and my text for this option will be yes. I have an ID of 0 for no. And let's use 99 code for don't know. Now in the parent ID column, we just need to use a numeric which ties all of these together. So I'll use number 1 for my first option. And this just tells the system that these three options all belong to the same group of answer options. As you want to add some more, you can use a different parent ID down here and add your options over here. But for now, we'll just stick to this one example. So what we'll do is save our file. I'll save it on my desktop so I can find it again. And now, back in Designer, we can upload these categories. So we find the file we just created. And press open. Now you can give it a name here so you can easily recognize it. I will call it yes, no. Now, as I'm adding questions in my survey, I can easily find these answer options I've set up. So when we use a single select, we can come down here and instead of using user-defined categories where we would ordinarily write in one yes like this, we can change this to reusable categories. And we bind it to the reusable category which I've created called yes, no. Now this question will use yes, no without me having to type it out. Very handy. The next one to talk through is called scenarios. Now you can see when you click on scenarios here, we don't have any, and it directs us to the testing application. So essentially what a scenario does is it allows you to save some of the inputs you've done in the testing mode of the survey here. So this will come really in handy when you're testing some complicated things. So if you've got a lot of questions, for example, things that are enabling conditions and validations which are built upon the household roster, and you're testing a lot to try and make them work, it can be really time consuming. You have to go back each time to your test and set up the household roster over and over again. So what Scenarios allows us to do is to do that one time and then save it, so you can jump straight into where you left off in your testing. So a quick example to show you how it works, what I'm going to do is fill out just a few answers. So I'll take my province, and then the district, maybe PSU number, household ID number. And then after I've reached the point where I need to save, I can press the save button here and we'll save this scenario. So I will select Save New, and I'll call it Regions Completed, for example. And we can press Save. Now when we return to the Designer tool, we'll see that we should have the scenario here. Sometimes it takes a little while to refresh, so what you can do is click back out on your Designer, enter back into the questionnaire. A little bit of a bug there, and you should be able to see it now. Yes, so we've got regions completed. What you can do here is view it, and it will show you all of the technical code and what answers have been put where, if you need to step through it manually. Or you press run, and it will take you back into the tester, and all of those answers you selected will still be there saved. So that can be a real time saver for you.
So those are the major differences between the Designer tool today and the Designer tool which you'll be seeing presented in the videos throughout this course. As you can see, they don't alter the core functionality of the Designer tool, but there are some useful time-saving features which might be helpful to you as you go forward. Thanks.